Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to draw a fun and silly image of an ice cream with a hippo, a dog, a horse, and a ghost as the scoops. This idea was inspired by the 5th class students at St. Joseph's National School in Dundalk.
Hello, I'm Tarsila Krüse, and I'm a children's book illustrator. And this is Drawing with Tarsila.
For this drawing, we will need a pencil, an eraser, and some paper. We will begin our drawing by lightly sketching the shape of the cone at the bottom center of the page. The shape of the cone is like the letter V, like an upside down triangle. And the reason why we're going to do it lightly is just so you can erase it later if you want to. So we're going to start drawing one side. And you don't need a ruler for this. At the bottom, I'm not going to make it too sharp. I'm going to give it a little curve. And I'm going to add the other side. And don't worry if yours looks a bit wonky or if one side is bigger than the other. This is all about enjoying the process. So this is the basic shape of our cone. And now, if you know how a cone is made, it's actually a wrap around. So on this end here, we're going to connect to the other side with a slight curve. So this is the shape we're going to be doing. So we'll move down to do the wrap around. And then we're going to do a similar curve, but we're going to stop at about here, about the middle. And this is our basic shape for the cone of our different silly ice cream. Now let's add some of the markings on the cone. There is a pattern that goes on it. It's like a crisscross pattern. So some lines are going in one direction and some lines are going in a different direction. So we're going to draw a few lines. They're spaced out in between them going in this direction diagonally. So one line here, and you leave it some space, and you add another line there. You can do a little bit of curve with them, and you do another space, and you draw another line. Take your time. If you think I'm moving too fast, you can pause this video and go at your own pace. And then another line, and another one. Now, this one I'm going to add as well, but I'm not going to continue straight where that was. I'm going to move it a little bit. It's called an offset a little bit. So it gives the impression that it's behind it. And it's about that space, so another line there. Now it's time to add the lines on the opposite direction. They can go diagonally to the other side. So I'll start at the bottom and go to the top this time. I'm going to start my line over here. And I'll go up. I'll give it some space, about the same space that I gave there, roughly. I'm gonna go up, and another one. And you can see that I'm doing it as a bit of a curve. And another one. And another one. And then I'm gonna add one here as well. Okay, so we have our cone shape. I'm going to erase this little bit here on the outside. And you can adjust yours as you go along as well. Now, we're going to move on to the scoops. And since there will be 4 different ones, we're going to trace 4 light circles. So they give us the idea of where those scoops are going to be. So I'm going to draw one big scoop over here in the middle, right on the top of our cone. And this is going to be the head of the hippo on the bottom. Now I need 4 more scoops, so I'm going to add a light circle. This is a half a circle. I'm going to add another circle over here, a very light one, because this is just going to give me the shape of where that's going to go. Another one over here. Now that looks a little bit like a famous mouse, the overall shape. And then I'm going to add the final scoop over here in the middle. So this is where the hippo, the horse and the dog, and the ghost are going to go. So let's add the details now. We're going to start with the hippo. So this is the general area where our hippo is going to be. Because hippos tend to be quite big, I'm actually going to draw a couple of cheeks on either side. And the way that I'm going to do it is by adding 2 semicircles as well. So I'm going to add a couple of semicircles, just a curve actually, going in on this side and on the other side. And then I'm going to do a little semicircle here on the top, because the top part of the hippo's head tends to be a bit smaller than their mouths. And you can see that I'm tracing now with a little bit darker, a little bit more force, so I can see the drawing on top of my sketch underneath it. I'm going to add 2 little ears and the nostrils, 2 circles, 1 on either side. For the eyes, I'm going to draw 2 circles, 1 over here and 1 over here. And because the hippo is at the bottom of the ice cream, it's going to be looking up. So I'm going to add half a circle on the top and color it in. And another semi-curve on the top there and color it in. Now if I want to make that even cuter, I'd probably add a little bit of a hint of a smile. So I'm going to add a curved line over here and another one over here. And we have our hippo. Now we're going to move on to our horse. And I'm going to draw it on this circle over here. For the horse, I'm going to imagine that there is a straight line coming here. And I'm going to draw that straight line. This is going to be the back of the horse's head. And because the horse has a different shape, I'm going to do a semi-curve going from here to about here. Not all the way down to the end of where the circle is, just about here. And then I'm going to come down on a slight wave. And I'm going to do a stretch with a little bit of a straight line there. And now I'm going to curve down. And I'm going to go back in and down like this, touching the hippo's head. This is an awkward shape, and sometimes horses are tricky to draw, so don't be too hard on yourself. For the details, I'm going to add the 2 ears. So on either side of the head, I'm going to add first a diagonal straight line. So this one is going to go this way, and then a curve coming back. And then on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing, but to the other side. So I'm going to add a straight line going that way, and then a curve coming back. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of the horse's hair, or is it a mane? I'm not sure if it's a mane or it's the hair. Would you say horse mane? I think so. I know the lion has a mane, but I'm not sure if a horse does. So I'm going to add the little hair, and the way I'm going to do it is I'm just going to add some curves here, and I'm going to do a zigzag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like zig, 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 and then I'm going to come back. You can do curves, or you can do hair another way. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of an S curve on the back here. And the semi-curve here, half a circle for the rest of the hair. And if you want, you can add strands and lines. And remember that the ear is going to be behind this, so. Now for details of the horse, we're going to add the nostrils again, one on this side and the other one just where that straight line sort of ends over here. We're going to add a little mouth and the 2 eyes. So one eye over here kind of about the same size as those eyes. Another eye over here. And because this one is in the middle, it's going to be looking that way. I'm going to add our semi-curve inside the eye and color it in for both eyes. Now we're going to add our dog. For the dog, the shape is actually going to be quite similar to the horse, but the snout is going to be slightly different. So let's add a line at the back, a straight line. For the top of the head, instead of going too straight, we're going to round off the head a little bit more and come down like a circle that's half a circle. And then we're going to pull a straight line and come back at a circle again. Lots of curves and circles this time around, but a bit stretched out. You see? And now a straight line coming from here all the way down to the hippo. So this is much simpler. We're going to add the snout of the dog, doing it could be a circle or a rectangle. And we're going to add the ears. For this particular dog, we're going to draw a sausage ear. So the way that I like drawing sausage ears, you imagine like a sausage. It's round on one side and then it goes a bit curvy. But this one is going to open up and you can color that in. And on the other side, we're just going to do a tiny bit of this because it's behind that head. So we're going to do a little bit of that there. We're going to color it in and imagine it's coming behind and you just follow that line and color it in. Excellent. And now we need two eyes as well. So one eye over here and the other over there. And it's going to be looking at the horse. So we're going to be pointing the eye towards the left. Do the semi-curve, fill it in. And I'm going to make him smile a little bit more. So I'm just going to continue that curve. Yeah, and maybe add that to the hippo as well. There we are. Now for the top scoop, and that's our last scoop, that's the ghost. And the ghost is going to be the easiest one to do. I think it's going to be a bit squashed on mine, so I'm actually going to make it a little bit higher than that. I'm going to come down from the top. It could be from the top of your circle or higher like I am doing. And you're going to continue the curve until it reaches the dog and the horse. Now the good thing about the ghost is that it requires very little detail. So for the eyes, we're not going to do the eyes like this. We're going to go with two circles again. And you can space them out. And you fill them in because ghosts don't really have eyes like we do. And then you can add the little mouth very close in between the eyes. It's going to look extra cute there. So now you can go back to your cone and trace it in darker colors if you want. And what I'm going to do is, sometimes when I'm making drawings like this, I like adding some details. So I'm going to add a little swirl on each side that's going to have a little bit of an ice cream theme to it. So I'm going to draw a curve going up and going around again. And I'm going to try to do the same on the other side. So I'm thinking about here and here, and I like moving it like this on this side. So you see what works best for you. So I'm going to do a curve and come down again. So they're kind of similar. They don't have to be exactly the same. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add here some special waffle leaves. So I'm going to draw a couple of leaves around the stem on the inside. Maybe one here and another one here and another one at the very end. Maybe a couple on the other side as well. And I'm going to try to do the same on the other side. So I have one at the end. I have one at the bottom. I have about 2 around here. Another 2 around here. 2 on the loop, so 1 coming in, 1 going out, another one going out. And to make them waffle-like, we're going to add the same pattern we added to the cone. So a couple of lines down, a couple of lines up, a couple of lines down, a couple of lines up. And you keep doing that on all the leaves. We have our waffle leaves, and now we're going to add a couple of ice cream cones. So I'm going to draw one ice cream cone here with a triangle shape and a semicircle. So I'm going to draw one here as well. And another one here. So again, a triangle and a semicircle. And now I'm going to add sprinkles. So a few sprinkles on our ice cream. And to make this even more festive, you can add a few sprinkles around as well. And if you want, you can already use colored pencils or markers to do the sprinkles. It's going to look really, really nice. This I'm doing in black and white because later I'm going to color it on the iPad using Procreate. And you can see the final result then. Okay. Let's not forget to put the waffle cone on our little ice creams as well. Okay, we're nearly there. If you want, you can add little details to those swirls. You can add little leaves like this. I like adding them sometimes. And see here, here. And you can add cherries or hearts or whatever you want to make your special city ice cream. Now that the drawing is complete, I'm gonna take a picture of it and I'm gonna color it on the iPad. And stick around if you want to see the time lapse of the coloring process. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and check out my other draw along videos on my channel. Thank you and bye!